Hi, welcome to this short movie where Philippa and I are going to show you the milking system monitor and milking system analysis.
I want to look at what time we started milking.
Okay, what you can do is if we go to the cow's head, we go to number 2, milk management, and then we're going to go into here, number 12, milking times analysis. We can select which day and which milking we want to look at. So if you wanted to look at yesterday's, just select the 15th, and here you will see that we've got milking 1. If I select here, we've got milking 2. So we can see that we actually started putting the units on. Each dot here is a cow, and the length of the line is the milking duration. So we can see that we actually started just before 2:30. If I go back to here, we can see the last units are going off at about 5:45.
What's going on with the colours?
Glad you asked that. What's actually happening there, I think there's been some issues maybe with people not shutting gates or not shutting gates at the correct time. Because basically what's happening is group 3, that's actually being milked first. But what we can see is this cow here, she's actually in group number 2 in the program, but she's being milked in group number 3. So it's a really handy tool actually, because you can see straight away where things are wrong. And you can also see it down here as well. So there's a whole list here of cows with their number, the group they're actually being milked in, and which group they're assigned to within the program. So this needs to be sorted out.
Okay, I can see this is showing it through management groups, but could I change it and look at barn groups?
Yeah, good question. If you're using barn groups, that could be very interesting if you're using barn groups as a physical location. So as ever with Uniform, if we go into properties, we selected the default here is to look at it based on management groups. But yeah, if you select that, you'll then be able to see it as barn groups. So select it, save the settings, say OK, and you'll then look at it in a slightly different way.
Okay, and I can also see there at the side, I've got the cows that were milked the longest and the shortest. Yep,
again, that can be really handy. So cow number, this one here, 3704, the unit was actually on for 16 minutes. So that's handy because we can actually see are the right protocols being done in terms of teat preparation and when units are going on. So you can really see what the milking protocols are. But here we can also see we have a list of cows. This cow was only on for 29 seconds. So did she kick the unit off? Possibly she did.
Okay, that's great. Is there a summary report?
There is. If we go to close that. So everything you've seen there was in milking times analysis. But again, I think this is a really important report. So this one is called the Milking System Monitor. And it really gives a snapshot of what's going on. So if I use the look back section here and just scroll down a little bit, so we're looking at the last 4 days. So we can see here on the 12th, milking 1, the time we started and what the total duration of that milking was, along with the average milk yield for the cow. So we can check are people actually starting at the times they should be starting at, and is the milking duration, is it correct? Is it what it should be? And we then break this down into different sections. So we can look at it based per group. So per group, milk total there. Again, we have the start time and the end time per group. We can then look at it based on the cows, and we can see the number of cows that were milked per hour. So a lot of information here. We've even got the average duration, the SPP for that group, and the average days in milk. Anything in red is something that we should be looking at, particularly if it's underlined. We can actually see here the amount of milk that came down, the milking duration there, that's 15 to 30 seconds, 30 to 60 seconds. So I think this is a report that, yeah, it'd be really good to discuss with your milking machine dealer and maybe the vet, just to check that everything is as you'd expect it to be. And then going down here, you see here we've got the stalls, so 1 to 12. And 21 to 32. If you go to the next, you'll see then that's the whole line of stalls here. And if you want to find a little bit more information on the actual figures and how they're calculated, if we just go across to here and select explanation, you'll actually see the breakdown of these figures and what they mean. So there's a lot of information here. Instead of just looking at the KPIs, we can really see what the milking practices are, what's happening. Are people following the protocols? Are they starting at the correct time? What is the milking duration? A lot of information that we can look at. And as ever, if you have any questions and you'd like us to take you through it, please call the help desk, because I think this is a really important report. I would just say one thing: it won't be on everybody's license, because the process system has to be able to capture the time the unit went on and the time that the unit went off. So there are some processes where we do not receive that information, but just check if you are receiving that, because if you are, this is a very important tool.